Have you ever found yourself struggling to understand spoken English? Maybe you're sitting in a meeting or watching a movie, and the words just don't seem to make sense. Or perhaps, you feel like you can't keep up with the fast speech or different accents. Well, you're not alone. A lot of English learners face these challenges. But here's some good news: improving your listening skills doesn't have to be hard or boring. Today, on Clear English Podcast, we're going to explore how podcasts can be your secret weapon for mastering spoken English in a fun and effective way. Podcasts are a fantastic tool for listening practice. They give you access to real conversations, real accents, and real-world vocabulary, all at your own pace. Whether you're a beginner or already at an advanced level, there's a podcast out there for you. Plus, you can listen to podcasts anywhere, during your commute, while cooking, or even at the gym. It's an easy way to practice and have fun while doing it. So, if you've ever wondered how to improve your listening skills without the stress of classroom lessons or memorizing boring grammar rules, you're in the right place. In today's episode, we'll dive into why podcasts are perfect for improving your listening skills, how they can help you with pronunciation, and some tips on how to get the most out of your podcast experience. Let's get started. When I first started learning English, I have to admit, I was overwhelmed. The biggest challenge for me was understanding native speakers. They seemed to talk so fast, and I couldn't catch the words or the meaning. I remember feeling frustrated and even a little discouraged, especially when I would watch movies or listen to conversations, and everything just flew past me. The different accents, slang, and rapid speech patterns made it hard to keep up. But then, I discovered podcasts. And let me tell you, they completely transformed the way I learned English. At first, I wasn't sure if they would help, but I gave it a try. I started listening to podcasts during my commute, while I was doing chores around the house, and even before bed. The best part: podcasts are designed for real conversations, so I was hearing English in a natural setting, not just textbook sentences or scripted dialogues. Over time, I started to notice a difference. I was able to pick up on new words, understand the flow of conversations, and my confidence in listening grew. I still remember the first time I understood a whole episode without needing to rewind. I was amazed at how much I had improved. That's when I realized how powerful podcasts could be for improving listening skills. Today, I want to share with you the same technique that helped me. By incorporating podcasts into your daily routine, you can boost your listening skills and feel more confident in your English ability. So, if you've ever felt frustrated like I did, don't worry, you're not alone. Stick with it, and soon you'll see the progress. Let me show you how podcasts can help you just like they helped me. In today's episode of Clear English Podcast, we're going to talk about why podcasts are such an amazing tool for practicing your listening skills. Whether you're a beginner or already have some experience with English, podcasts are a fantastic way to improve your ability to understand native speakers. Listening to different accents, speeds, and speech patterns might seem challenging at first, but podcasts break everything down into manageable and enjoyable parts. In this episode, I'll explain why podcasts are so effective for improving your listening skills and give you some tips on how to make the most out of your podcast practice. So, if you're looking to boost your listening skills, stay tuned, because podcasts might just be the perfect way to do it. Podcasts are an incredible tool for anyone looking to improve their English listening skills. One of the main reasons podcasts stand out is that they provide access to real, natural conversations. Unlike the textbook dialogues that often focus on formal or perfect English, podcasts show you how language is used in everyday life. When you listen to podcasts, you're exposed to a variety of accents, speech speeds, and informal language that you might not find in your typical English lessons. This is what makes podcasts so valuable. Instead of focusing on memorizing vocabulary or sentence structure in a controlled setting, you get to hear how people actually communicate. This real-world exposure helps you understand how the language flows, how people use slang, and how they respond to one another in different situations. For example, in a podcast, you might hear people speaking casually, using contractions like gonna, or wanna, or dropping words in a sentence. This is a far cry from the textbook language you typically see, where everything is more formal and correct. These are all things that native speakers do without thinking, and by listening to them, you'll begin to understand these subtle differences in language use. Over time, this helps you get used to the rhythm and structure of everyday conversations, making it much easier for you to follow spoken English in real life. Another great thing about podcasts is that they often feature a variety of topics and different speakers. Whether you're listening to interviews, discussions, or storytelling podcasts, you'll be exposed to a range of voices and speaking styles. This variety can be particularly useful because it teaches you to tune your ear to different accents and speaking paces. For example, you might listen to a podcast where the speaker has a fast-paced, American accent, and then switch to one where a speaker uses a slower pace with a British accent. This exposure helps you become more adaptable when listening to English in the real world, especially when you're dealing with different accents or people speaking quickly. In addition, podcasts often discuss current events or popular topics, which can make learning feel relevant and interesting. Instead of listening to artificial dialogues or memorizing lists of vocabulary, you can dive into discussions about things that matter to you, whether that's sports, culture, technology, or even comedy. This will not only make the learning process more enjoyable but also keep you motivated. In short, podcasts are great for listening practice because they offer real conversations, diverse accents, and relevant content. They help you connect with how people speak in real life, giving you practical listening experience that textbooks just can't provide. And the best part, podcasts are available at any time and anywhere, so you can practice whenever it fits into your schedule. One of the biggest advantages of using podcasts for listening practice is the exposure to a wide variety of accents and speech styles. English is spoken all around the world, and each region or country has its own unique way of pronouncing words, using slang, and constructing sentences. When you listen to podcasts, you're exposed to these different accents and styles, which can be incredibly beneficial for developing your listening skills. For example, you might listen to a podcast featuring an American speaker who uses fast, informal language. Then, you might switch to one with a British accent, which has its own set of pronunciation rules and rhythm. Or perhaps you enjoy listening to Australian podcasts, where the accent is quite different from both American and British English. The beauty of podcasts is that they give you access to all these different ways of speaking. Over time, you'll get used to hearing them and become more comfortable understanding what each speaker is saying. When I first started listening to podcasts with British accents, I remember having a hard time understanding the speakers. Their words seemed to flow differently, and some of the vocabulary they used was unfamiliar to me. The rhythm of their speech was slower and more melodic compared to the fast-paced American English I was used to. At first, it felt like I had to concentrate extra hard to understand them. But as I kept listening to different British podcasts, I started to notice patterns and became more familiar with the accent. Over time, I was able to follow along with ease, and the confusion I once had disappeared. Now, I can switch between different accents, whether British, Australian, or even regional American accents, without any problems. This experience taught me that the more you expose yourself to different accents, the easier it becomes to understand them. Podcasts help you practice this because they feature real conversations with people from all over the world. This diversity in accents can be a great tool for language learners who want to become more adaptable in their listening skills. In addition to accents, podcasts also give you the chance to hear a range of speaking styles. Some speakers might talk slowly and clearly, while others might speak quickly or use more casual language. By listening to podcasts regularly, you'll become more flexible in your ability to understand various speech speeds and styles. This is a key skill because in real-life conversations, you'll encounter different speaking paces depending on the person and the situation. To sum it up, podcasts offer a wonderful opportunity to familiarize yourself with different accents and speech styles. Whether you're listening to a fast-talking American or a calm, thoughtful British speaker, the variety of voices will help improve your listening comprehension and make you more confident in understanding spoken English in various contexts. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to recognize and follow different accents, which will ultimately make your listening skills stronger and more versatile. One of the best aspects of using podcasts for language learning is the ability to listen at your own pace. Unlike live conversations where you might feel rushed or pressured to keep up, podcasts give you complete control over the playback speed. This flexibility makes podcasts an excellent choice for learners at any level, whether you're just starting or already have a good grasp of the language. If you ever find yourself struggling to understand a particular word, phrase, or even an entire sentence, you can simply pause the podcast and replay it as many times as you need. This gives you the chance to focus on difficult parts, listen closely, and make sure you understand what's being said before moving on. There's no rush, and no one is waiting for you to catch up. For example, in the beginning, I would often pause a podcast if I didn't catch a word or if the speaker was talking too quickly. I would replay the section a few times, slow it down if needed, and focus on how the words were pronounced. Doing this helped me improve my understanding and pronunciation. Over time, I found myself needing to rewind less frequently because my listening skills had improved, but having that control made the learning process less stressful and more enjoyable. Many podcast platforms, like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, allow you to adjust the speed of the audio. You can slow it down to 0.75x or 0.5x if the speaker is talking too fast, or even speed it up to 1.5x or 2x when you feel confident and want to challenge yourself. This feature is especially useful when you are familiar with the content but need a little extra help in catching all the details. I've personally used the option to slow down the audio when I'm working on pronunciation, so I can hear every sound more clearly. Another great thing about podcasts is that you can listen whenever you want and as often as you like. If you're unsure about a certain part, you can go back to it anytime. There's no pressure to keep moving forward, and you can replay sections as many times as needed. This gives you the freedom to focus on the areas that are most challenging for you without feeling stressed. Listening at your own pace is not only helpful for understanding the content but also for building confidence. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you can take things slow, break down the content, and gradually improve your skills. Whether you're learning basic phrases or trying to understand complex topics, this ability to control the pace makes podcasts a fantastic resource for learning. In short, podcasts are perfect for self-paced learning. You can pause, rewind, and slow down the audio to ensure that you understand everything at your own speed. This removes the pressure and allows you to practice as much as you need, making it easier to stay motivated and continue improving your listening skills over time. So, the next time you feel stuck, remember that you have full control, take your time and keep listening until it clicks. One of the most exciting things about podcasts is the incredible variety of topics they cover. Whether you're passionate about science, history, business, entertainment, or even niche hobbies like gardening or video games, there's a podcast for you. This variety not only makes listening more enjoyable but also keeps you motivated to practice your English regularly. The best part, you get to learn about subjects that genuinely interest you while improving your listening skills at the same time. For example, if you love cooking, you can find podcasts where hosts share delicious recipes, cooking tips, or interviews with famous chefs, all in English. Listening to these podcasts allows you to pick up food-related vocabulary, improve your understanding of instructions, and learn how different cultures describe food and cooking techniques. It's like combining your passion for cooking with your language learning. If you're more interested in technology, there are countless podcasts that delve into the latest tech trends, gadgets, and innovations. These shows often feature discussions, interviews with industry experts, and explanations of complex topics in a way that's easy to follow. As a result, you'll learn not only new tech vocabulary but also hear how people in the tech world communicate in English. This exposure is perfect for anyone wanting to improve their vocabulary and understanding of technical jargon. The wide range of topics also helps you practice listening to different accents and speech patterns, as various podcast hosts come from all over the world. You might listen to a business podcast from the UK, a history show from the US, and a comedy podcast from Australia, all in one day. By exploring podcasts from different genres and regions, you can become familiar with diverse English-speaking cultures and learn how language is used in different contexts. For instance, I remember being fascinated by podcasts about space and astronomy. I wasn't just learning scientific terms but also discovering how people in the field explain complex concepts in simple language. This helped me improve my listening skills and boosted my confidence in understanding technical content in English. The diversity of topics kept me interested, and I always looked forward to learning something new. The Variety also makes it easy to find content that matches your current level of English. If you're just starting out, there are podcasts with simple, clear language. As you progress, you can gradually move on to more advanced content. Whether you want to listen to stories, news, interviews, or educational material, you have endless options. So, whether you're looking to learn about the latest trends in pop culture, explore the depths of history, or pick up new skills in areas like personal development or fitness, there's always a podcast that can help you do it in English. By choosing podcasts that align with your interests, you'll find that learning English becomes more enjoyable and motivating, keeping you engaged and helping you make steady progress. In conclusion, the variety of topics available in podcasts means you can always find something that excites you while practicing your English. The more you enjoy the content, the more motivated you'll be to listen regularly, and the better your listening skills will become. So, explore new topics, discover new podcasts, and make learning English a fun and rewarding part of your day. One of the most powerful ways to improve your listening skills is through consistent practice, and podcasts make it so easy to do just that. The beauty of podcasts is that they can seamlessly fit into your daily routine, allowing you to practice listening to English without even realizing it. By listening regularly, you can make steady progress and build up your listening abilities over time. Consistency is the key to mastering any skill, and listening is no exception. If you aim to improve your listening skills, setting aside time to practice each day will lead to better results. Fortunately, podcasts allow you to do this in a fun and stress-free way. You don't need to block off hours of your day or sit down with textbooks. Instead, you can integrate listening practice into activities you already do. For example, I've found that listening to podcasts while doing household chores, such as cleaning, cooking, or folding laundry, is a great way to use time effectively. These tasks don't require much mental energy, so you can easily focus on the podcast while you work. This way, you're practicing English without feeling like you're working hard at it. I like to listen to a podcast in the morning while making breakfast, or during my commute, when I would otherwise be zoning out or scrolling through my phone. These moments add up quickly, and over time, I noticed my listening skills improving naturally. The great thing about podcasts is that they allow you to multitask. Instead of setting aside extra time specifically to practice, you can simply press play while you're doing other things. Whether you're exercising, running errands, or relaxing, you can always find an opportunity to listen to a podcast. In fact, some people like to listen while driving or jogging, as it makes these activities more enjoyable and productive. It's like turning your regular routine into an opportunity for learning, and that's what makes podcasts such an effective tool for language practice. Even if you only listen for 15 minutes a day, it adds up over time. It's not about how long you listen for in a single sitting, but rather how often you listen. The more you listen, the more comfortable you become with different accents, speech speeds, and vocabulary. And because podcasts are so accessible, you can continue to practice even when you're on the go. So, if you want to make real progress in your listening skills, the key is to practice every day. Find pockets of time in your day to listen to podcasts, and soon enough, you'll notice how much easier it becomes to follow along with spoken English. It won't feel like work, it'll become a natural part of your routine. And before you know it, you'll be understanding more, improving your vocabulary, and feeling more confident in your ability to comprehend native speakers. The more consistent you are, the faster you'll improve. To wrap up, podcasts are an amazing and flexible tool for improving your English listening skills. They expose you to real, natural conversations that are much more practical than the scripted dialogues you often find in textbooks. Listening to podcasts regularly helps you get used to different accents and speech patterns, so you'll become more confident in understanding a wide range of speakers. Another great advantage of podcasts is that you can listen at your own pace. Whether you need to pause and rewind to catch a word or slow down the audio to follow along, podcasts allow you to practice without feeling rushed. Plus, you can easily fit them into your daily routine, whether it's during your commute, while doing chores, or while exercising. This makes it easier to practice consistently, and consistency is key when it comes to improving your listening skills. Podcasts also cover an endless variety of topics, from cooking and technology to business and entertainment. This means you can explore subjects that genuinely interest you while practicing your English, making the learning process more enjoyable and motivating. In short, if you want to boost your English listening skills, podcasts are the perfect solution. They're accessible, convenient, and full of opportunities for you to practice every day. By listening to podcasts regularly, you'll get better at understanding different speakers, expand your vocabulary, and enjoy the process. So, start today and see how much your listening skills can improve. Now, it's your turn. Start incorporating podcasts into your daily routine today and watch how quickly your listening skills improve. Remember, consistency is key, so make it a habit, and you'll notice the difference in no time. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Clear English Podcast for more tips and lessons to help you improve your English. And we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let us know what podcasts you love to listen to. Happy listening, and see you in the next episode.